you understand on the indictment that the state has reserved the right to add the death penalty? Do you understand that? Have you read that?
ASAP.
What's ASAP?
Bionca Ellis.
Ellis was then walked into the courtroom where she used a whispering voice.
Hello, Miss Ellis. Do you have an attorney? You do? Do you have the money or means to hire an attorney? Have you received your indictment? I don't. Okay, well, we can read it in open court. The defendant did cause the death of J.W., date of birth 10/29/2020.
While charges were being read, Ellis smirked, shrugged, raised her eyebrow, and even smiled.
Do you wish to enter a plea of not guilty?
C.
Pardon me?
C.
What's same mean? Yes or no?
Yes.
Sitting in that courtroom, Julian Wood, Julian's father, and others who deeply loved him.
Your Honor, that day, 1 week ago, she took everything from us. There's nothing that could ever replace my son, or anything that my wife and I, even our other kids, are going through.
North Olmsted police say Ellis stole 2 kitchen knives from a thrift store in the same plaza as the Giant Eagle. Surveillance video shows her inside the grocery store walking past registers, knife in hand, when she bumped into Margot, Julian's mom. He was in a shopping cart. Video then shows Ellis following the family to their car where police say the stabbing happened.
Just do whatever you can to keep this monster behind bars.
A plea from a grieving father.
And I really wish no bail, period, or extend it to the max limit possible that you can, at the very least.
The judge setting bond at $5 million, and Ellis was taken out of the courtroom. A GoFundMe for the Wood family continues to raise money for funeral and legal expenses. The family writing, "It has brought us a sense of peace, knowing that we are surrounded by such a caring community." Little boy loved dinosaurs. The defense is requesting a mental evaluation for Ellis. She is back in court on June the 17th.
I have now read the indictment to you. Do you wish to enter a plea of not guilty?
C.
Pardon me?
C.
What's same mean? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. I understand the victims are represented and they want to make a comment before I set bond. Is that true?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
All right, guys, so we got to follow up on a viral story that I covered about a year ago out of a Cleveland suburb, North Olmsted, Ohio, involving an individual, this individual that you see on the screen. I'm not sure if I can call this individual a woman, right? But this grotesque-looking individual goes by the name of Bionca Ellis, okay? And Bionca Ellis here followed a mother and a 3-year-old son out of a supermarket and ended up stabbing the 3-year-old in the middle of the parking lot. Now, apparently what happened prior to the attack is that this individual had stolen 2 knives from a thrift store next door and then entered the grocery store. Upon entering the grocery store, this individual got caught on camera holding a knife, turned around as the mother and the 3-year-old was walking past her, followed them into the parking lot, and then proceeded to stab the 3-year-old.
A woman who stands accused of killing a child outside an Ohio grocery store says she's killed before here in Bakersfield. 17's Michaela Armstrong has the story.
Bionca Ellis is accused of fatally stabbing a 3-year-old boy outside a Cleveland, Ohio supermarket. Ellis is facing charges of murder, aggravated murder, attempted murder, and more. The 32-year-old pled not guilty to all 7 of her charges at her arraignment Monday. According to police, the motive for the stabbings is unclear and appears to have been a random attack. Still, according to court records, Ellis told police that a few months ago, she killed a woman in California, Bakersfield, California,
and dumped the body in an unknown area, possibly near a river.
Kern County criminal case records show Ellis was accused of 3 counts of battery charges in late January. Ellis's depiction to Cleveland police was vivid, describing in the court records the victim was a, quote, a white female, approximately 5'6", 150 pounds, and she was a bartender, worked at a bar. We reached out to the Bakersfield Police Department about the possible murder, and a spokesperson for the department responded, quote, Ellis did make some spontaneous statements, which were relayed to our investigators. This information was shared with the other investigators to ensure that the information provided wasn't consistent with the unsolved homicides that we were investigating. Therefore, BPD did not have enough evidence to hold Ellis on a murder case, according to the spokesperson, stating, quote, the information does not match any cases actively being investigated, and at this time, Ellis is not a person of interest or being investigated for any offense.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Now, part of the reason why this story has gone viral is because of the fact that during the arraignment, this woman was laughing and smiling, giggling as the judge was speaking to her about the charges that she was facing for murdering this 3-year-old.
Hey, Sam, thank you. Justice for Julian, an emotional day in the courtroom. The father of the 3-year-old boy brutally murdered in a grocery store parking lot, speaking out. Heartbreaking loss for this entire family. It was his first chance to see the woman accused of killing his son. 19's Katie Tursek has our story.
Well, good afternoon. Bionca Ellis, the defendant, was smiling and laughing. She even refused to answer the judge, but all eyes were on Julian's father as he made a statement.
Just do whatever you can to keep this monster behind bars.
Justice for Julian. Today, a plea from Julian Wood's father to keep his son's accused killer locked up. The first time Jared Wood has spoken out since his son's murder.
She took everything from us. There's nothing that could ever replace my son or anything that my wife and I, even our other kids, are going through.
32-year-old Bionca Ellis refused to cooperate during her court video appearance, so the judge ordered her to appear in person. That was when she pleaded not guilty to 8 felony counts, including aggravated murder and murder.
Bond is set at $5 million.
Police say Wood and his mother were violently stabbed a week ago, today in a grocery store parking lot in North Olmsted. Sadly, little Julian did not survive. However, his mother did. Ellis is accused of stealing 2 knives from a Volunteers of America store nearby and then walking over and attacking Julian and his mom. Ellis took off and was seen walking down the street with a knife. Police quickly arrested her.
It's horrendous.
A grieving father who laid his son to rest over the weekend. And a long, painful journey of court proceedings lies ahead for the Wood family. As for Ellis, she will be back in court on June 17th for pre-trial.
Yeah, so this individual tried to claim the insanity defense. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this act in court, which again was one of the most sick and twisted things I've ever seen, right? Smiling, giggling, laughing, as the judge is basically telling her about the charges that she's facing for killing this 3-year-old. I mean, you're talking about 1 count of aggravated murder, 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, 1 count of endangering children, among others, including theft and tampering. So, again, you potentially talk about the death penalty here, right? At least at the time, that's what they were talking about. But, again, life in prison. And this person is giggling, smiling, laughing in court as the family is grieving. Now, the part of the story that I think is really just so messed up to me is the fact that just like similar stories that we've covered in the past, like, for example, the stabbing that happened in Charlotte, okay, the individual that ended up stabbing the Ukrainian refugee on the light rail. Yeah, there's a history of this individual having run-ins with the police. Like, for example, a week before this stabbing occurred, this individual was confronted by police for theft.
And we know this wasn't her first encounter with law enforcement. We know about a week prior to this event, she was arrested for a theft. Let's go back and watch that arrest now.
Hello. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm going over here to the bus stop.
You're okay though? Somebody called because they were concerned about you.
Yeah, I kind of get lightheaded from my medicine.
5221, I'm out.
Do you need assistance at all? Or you need an ambulance or anything? Are you feeling all right?
No, I think the temperature is just getting to be just right.
Okay. Do you have an ID on you just so I can tell them that you're all right?
Yeah, so the defense tried to claim insanity, and the jury ultimately found that this woman was in fact sane during the time of the stabbing, okay? And that led to this woman being found guilty on all counts.
I'll read the verdicts on all charges, and then with respect to that, I will poll each of you just to confirm that it is your decision of this verdict. So with respect to the 9 counts and the furthermore, this jury says that they duly find and impanel the sworn jurors in this case do find the defendant, Bionca Ellis, guilty of all charges. Those guilty charges also carry with it the furthermore that she did commit the other charge as requested with a finding of all 12 of you. So with that being said, juror number 1, is this your decision? Yes. Juror number 2? Yes. Juror number 3?
Yeah, so ultimately, this woman was found not guilty despite the insanity defense. And the judge sentenced this woman to life in prison without parole. Now, this happened a couple of days ago, and that's part of the reason why I'm following up on this story is because I covered it before, and now we're getting a conclusion to it. And I can't lie to you guys. I'm kind of disappointed because at one point, the death penalty was on the table, and I believe that in a situation like this, the death penalty would have been appropriate despite the mental or the insanity defense, right? Because ultimately, at the day, you know, if somebody's this insane that would stab a 3-year-old randomly like that, I'm not entirely sure why we're wasting taxpayer dollars keeping this person in prison for the rest of her life. Why? For what? This person was not a productive member of society, and ultimately she committed a murder. But I think because of the insanity defense, they decided that, you know what, they're not even going to pursue the death penalty. And also on top of that, I believe in the state of Ohio, they basically put a pause on the death penalty, right? And I think it's a shame. I think it really is. In certain situations, it's just appropriate. And it's appropriate because it sends a message, right? A message that should be sent, because stuff like this is happening way too much. And then you have these people turning around claiming that, well, they're insane. Well, they had mental health issues, right? And in my opinion, I'm not entirely sure why is it that we waste cell space, right? Why we waste prison space on individuals like this who have not contributed a damn thing positive to society. And again, have murdered children, right? Toddlers, okay? So that being said, I want to react to the sentencings here because this woman is not smiling as much as she was before, right? That smile that she had, that smirk that she had at her arraignment, it seems as if that's gone, right? That's been wiped away, which to me would indicate that this person is not as insane as she claimed, right? As the defense tried to claim in order to get out of this, because she seems to be able to recognize the reality that she's never going to see the light of day again. So without further ado, let's get into this.
Regarding aggravated murder and finding the defendant guilty of aggravated murder by this jury, the court's going to hand down a sentence of life without parole. I'll run every other sentence concurrent to life without parole. Ms. Ellis, you'll be given credit to 509 days of the time that you've served. I'll order you in the custody of the sheriff to transport you to Marysville Correctional Facility. I'll also indicate that fines, fees, and court costs will be waived with respect to this sentence. In addition to the verdict that has been handed down by this jury and the sentence that the court handed down, Ms. Ellis, you have a right to appeal both the sentence and the conviction in this case. You can do that by filing a notice of appeal with the clerk of courts within 30 days of this sentence. If you're unable to pay for the costs of an appeal, you have the right to appeal without payment of costs. If you're unable to obtain counsel for an appeal, I'll appoint counsel to represent you. If you're unable to pay the cost of documents necessary, they are provided to you without cost. You have a right to a notice of appeal filed timely on your behalf. And Ms. Ellis or counsel, do you wish to appeal both the sentence and the conviction handed down in this case?
Yes, Your Honor. No objection for the record and appoint counsel for the appeal.
I'll note your objection regarding my sentence, and knowing that she's unable to afford counsel, I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent her with respect to her appeal. Again, noting for the record, all counts will be run concurrent to each other, with the life without parole being count 1 sentence. I'll waive all fines, fees, and court costs, give her credit for the 509 days that she served, in addition to time while she awaits her transportation to Marysville Correctional Facility for Women. Is there anything further from the state of Ohio before we recess?
No, Your Honor.
Anything on behalf of Ms. Ellis?
No, Your Honor.
All right, we adjourn. Thank you.
Yeah.
So again, no smiles anymore, right? She was smirking, grinning. Now all of a sudden she's realized the consequences of her actions, and all that has went away. She's not smiling anymore. Now, I don't feel bad for her. I actually feel like this woman kind of got off easy, to be honest with you, in regards to the punishment that should have been levied against her. Okay. But I can't help but to feel for the family, especially the father, right? The mother as well too. I feel for both, but again, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, I believe that the father wasn't there at the time, and I'm pretty sure that he probably wishes that he was there in order to protect his son from that monster that killed his son in cold blood, again, a 3-year-old son. And it's stories like this that really make me non-sympathetic to the dregs of society, right? The bottom feeders of society, right? Liberals believe that we're supposed to feel bad for people like this woman. And no, I don't feel bad for people like her. People like her should have been locked up in the first place. They should have been placed in a mental asylum. This is what we talk about when we talk about empathy leading to tragedy, right? Because this woman was mentally insane. She's running around in a wheelchair, stealing stuff. Again, not contributing anything at all, right? And she was allowed free to be an agent of chaos until she killed somebody, when she should have been institutionalized a long time ago. And that is what we have to bring back in this country. We have to start institutionalizing these people when they show signs that, hey, they cannot function in society. They're just some people who are born that cannot function in our society. Again, there's a little bit of Darwin in me, to be honest with you. To be really honest with you guys, there's a little bit of social Darwinism in me, okay? And I kind of feel like I'm like this because of how much I feel for normal, everyday, law-abiding, good people, good families who are simply just trying to live a good life and to raise their family and to raise their kids and to be happy. And you got monsters like this being allowed on the streets, again, not contributing a damn thing at all. And for whatever reason, as a society, we tolerate this, and we have not demanded that all of these individuals be taken off of the street. All of them should be off the street. Why do we allow these mentally insane people to walk around on the streets and do nothing but cause chaos and destruction? I don't get it. I really do not get it. So, you know, again, I feel for the family. My thoughts and prayers are with the family. And again, that's one of the reasons why I want to follow up on this video, because this story really did hit me hard when I first heard it, because of just how tragic that it was, right? And it just seemed to be so random. But part of me feels like, yeah, this is why we need to bring back public capital punishment. And the reason why, because even an insane person, or somebody that claims to be insane, like this woman right here, she wasn't so insane that she didn't realize that, oh, wait, these are the consequences of my actions, when she was being sentenced to life without parole. So I really do believe that sending a message that, hey, this is what happens. And again, you make it public for people to see, this is what happens when you commit these type of crimes, insane or not, right? I think would actually help prevent stuff like this, because people would know that, hey, you know what? If I do something crazy like this, I'm going to be made an example out of, and the outcome is not going to be good for me, right? Again, that's why I believe that this woman got off easy getting life without parole instead of capital punishment. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share. A Black conservative perspective. Peace.